The following program was produced by the students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this edition of Fast Track, more details on the State Street construction with West Lafayette Mayor John Dennis.
This year is actually probably when people are really going to notice some significant changes.
Plus, we take a look at a quicker way for liberal arts students to earn their degree.
Students do not need to have AP credit. They do not need to have transfer credit. They do not need to sort of compel the bureaucracy of the university to sort of let them do this or show the university that they can do it.
Also coming up, we'll check in with the big bass drum crew on the world's largest drum to see if it really is the world's largest.
I mean, the band is such an icon of Purdue, and especially the drum, really. It was made in 1921. It's Purdue's oldest icon, and it gives me a way to be an ambassador for Purdue and really represent our school.
And to top it off, we'll learn about all the events surrounding homecoming this weekend. Fast Track starts right now.
Welcome back. We're here at the Purdue Memorial Union kicking off Fast Track's 2017 season, bringing Purdue news to you. I'm Brad Pushkar.
And I'm Riley Kristen. It's a new school year, and with new changes on Purdue's campus comes construction, which can make it harder for students to get around. Ashton Oddie gives us a close look at the project and when it'll be done.
As students get back to the school routine, campus is looking a little different.
This year is actually probably when people are really going to notice some significant changes.
Those changes include two-way traffic as well as bike and pedestrian trails along State Street.
And with a separated designated bike trail to where we've actually got a barrier that allows people to recognize that it's only for bicycles, that really helps with our bikes and peds and making sure that they get to and from safely.
While the changes on campus will benefit students in the long run, right now students still have to cross through barriers just to get to campus.
You know, I can't run across from Cranert to the Union right now, so it's kind of rough.
I mean, I've kind of learned to avoid just driving over there.
The traffic's been really heavy and the construction noises wake me up every single morning.
Even with the ongoing construction making it harder to move around, many students are excited to see the end results.
Yeah, we have to suffer through some construction, but I mean, next year I'm sure it will look pristine. I see the street lights coming up over there, which is awesome.
I think it will be definitely worth it.
Ashton Oddie reporting for Fast Track.
Currently, State Street is open between River Road and Grant Street, and the rest of the $120 million project is set to be completed by 2019.
State Street isn't the only thing changing around the Purdue campus right now. The skyline will soon be changing as well. Later on in the show, we'll give you an up-close look at several high-rise towers under construction and what will go inside. But first, as students look to finish their degrees and enter into the workforce, one of the first things on their mind is when will they be finished? I found out more about what the College of Liberal Arts is doing to help their students finish earlier. A student graduating in 3 years isn't a new idea.
So it's been possible, but I think the students generally have had to come in with advanced placement credit.
What is, though, is a college helping make that idea possible for more students. Degree in 3 is a new program by the College of Liberal Arts, allowing for students to graduate in 3 years if they follow a newly set schedule.
We are institutionally supporting this. Students do not need to have AP credit. They do not need to have transfer credit. They do not need to sort of compel the bureaucracy of the university to sort of let them do this or show the university that they can do it.
Students will not only save time, but money as well. The College of Liberal Arts is estimating over $9,000 in savings for Indiana students and more than double that for out-of-state and international students. New financial aid offerings will also help to ease these costs.
We have worked on the financial aid environment so that students can get 4 years of funding and use it in 3 years.
How does getting 4 years of financial aid work in 3 years?
The university makes a commitment to you of a certain amount of aid per year over 4 years. You can now take that 4 years of aid and use it in a 3-year time period.
A big challenge for students that some department heads had noticed was making classes fit within the 3 years.
Technically, you could have done this in the past, but the stars had to line up to make certain that all of the courses were going to be there.
The college is working to give more options on how to take those credits.
To the extent that we can get some more flexibility in terms of the course, some course offerings being more delivered online, I think we might be in a better position to create even more flexibility in terms of the number of internships, the number of overseas studies programs that students can do.
This program isn't designed for everyone because some students will want to experience all 4 years at Purdue.
Not every history major is going to want to do this or any other major, but I think we'll find a few people that want this option, and that's fine. So now we have it.
Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Brad Pushkar.
Still ahead on Fast Track, we just told you about construction that's been a nuisance on campus, but one change in Chauncey has students excited.
I think everyone should consider the 3-year degree program. It's a completely viable option if you want to work hard and get it done. The thing I liked best was the ability to start law school right away. It's really a great way to save some money. College is really expensive and it's super necessary, so if you can cut it down, I think it's great. It was an awesome, valuable experience to get done in 3 years and then start the next part of my life.
So the Brian Lamb School of Communication has a long tradition as a department of communication originally, so well over 100-year tradition.
There has been communication here in the teaching of speech and organizational communication and other things for decades.
We have a very vibrant, I think, curriculum for our students in 5 different areas of communication.
It's everything from human relations and communication about relationships to public relations to communication within organizations to video production.
I think we attract really a variety of students who are interested in learning about communication skills, but then also being able to use those skills in a variety of settings.
Students have a lot of chances to get real, practical, applied experience, hands-on learning.
The classes that I've taken have definitely helped me grow in the career that I want, and I could not imagine taking any of these classes anywhere else.
I think a great part of our curriculum is when we have alumni who come back to classes and talk to students.
The networking is incredible through this program. We're all over the nation and even all over the world. I've actually had an internship where a Purdue grad was working there full time, and it was at Warner Brothers Studios.
I think when people hear about Purdue University, their first thoughts are probably engineering and astronauts. I'd like for students who aren't necessarily interested in being astronauts or engineers to also think about Purdue, but in terms of the Brian Lamb School of Communication.
Also very excited to see what my future holds because of Purdue, and I know I'm fully prepared because of the Brian Lamb School.
Welcome back to Fast Track. Over the summer, one Cranor alum put his degree to work, bringing a donut shop to campus.
I went to the new addition to the discount den to find out more on the sweet treats. Donuts and college students are a match seemingly made in heaven, but wasn't made at Purdue.
We just had this thought that there's no donut shop on campus.
A late-night idea by Tate Scheinbein and his friend quickly became a goal.
I woke up the next morning and we were both like, wait a second, I think we have something here.
And have something they did. Hammered Donuts is the newest stop for breakfast on Purdue's campus. While Hammered Donuts sees some customers come in the mornings, where they see large crowds is coming in at night.
Dude, these are my favorite.
College kids like to sleep in. We're doing pretty well throughout the day in our self-serve back here, so a lot of kids are taking advantage of that.
Tailoring to the late-night crowd, Scheinbein has developed deals for them, including filling cactus cups with donut holes for $5 and fresh red velvet donuts on Fridays. Although he's done all the baking, Scheinbein didn't go into this a master baker.
I was fully confident in my ability to run a business and do everything there is about the business except actually make the product.
He's been ready to put in the time, and it's been a worthwhile adventure for him.
It can be rough, but it's worth it because I love what I'm doing. So,
Hammered Donuts will have a grand opening on October 3rd, but will serve fresh donuts up until then. Reporting for Fast Track,
I'm Brad Pushkar.
In addition to a new restaurant and bakery choices, Chauncey will also see some new living choices. Several high-rise apartments are being planned for that area. Ashton Oddie gives us a closer look.
Purdue student James Solfatinos is eager for a new feel on campus.
Purdue itself is really kind of in the middle of nowhere, and we've got West Lafayette, but there's nothing to do over there. So if we can bring a little bit of a city feel, kind of like U of I or even Bloomington and IU, in this small town sort of feel where there's nothing to do really, I think it could be a cool addition.
The city of West Lafayette plans to build 3 new high-rises by 2019.
What our biggest concern is making sure that what we put there is going to be publicly acceptable, obviously, and also it's going to be a good investment on the part of the city.
The Hub Plus, and the Rise will be located on Chauncey Hill and behind Harry's Chocolate Shop. The buildings will range between 10 to 16 stories and will provide off-campus students and residents a community style of living with commingling spaces and fitness facilities.
Now what is wanted is they want to live in a densely populated area. They like living near or on top of each other, like in a high-rise. And they also want to be close to where things are happening, and they want to be able to walk to where things are happening. And that's what we based a lot of our investment on, is accommodating that particular need.
Along with housing options, the Hub Plus will also feature retail space.
Businesses are very eager to put their investments in there because they know they've got a lock on about 40,000 wallets when they come into a college community, and that's something that's really encouraging.
Mayor John Dennis says that West Lafayette hopes to move towards a more downtown atmosphere for students and residents.
And it might be a cool look down effect from anything.
Ashton Oddie reporting for Fast Track.
Still ahead on Fast Track.
We'll give you a breakdown of some of the homecoming events to come this weekend.
It starts with the belief that we can do more. Go beyond our borders, the world, and reach even the moon. We believe that delivering a world-class education and delivering value mean the exact same thing. It's pure gold. After all, where'd you think our colors came from?
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
If you're a student who would like to save thousands of dollars and also show the world that you're a real go-getter, here's a way to do it. I hope every graduate of our College of Liberal Arts shares my intense pride in the college for its new innovation, the Degree in 3 program. Special congratulations to all those enterprising liberal arts students who want to come get a first-rate liberal arts education and do it on a faster track.
Welcome back. It's going to be an exciting weekend on Purdue's campus.
This weekend is homecoming, and the Boilermakers take on the University of Michigan this Saturday. Starting tonight, there's a few events you should take advantage of surrounding the game. Tonight, starting at 5:15, is Purdue's first and only bridge walk this season. The team is scheduled to arrive at 5:45, and it's supposed to be even bigger and better than bridge walks in years past. Stop by to grab some free giveaways, and they'll be giving out tickets to Saturday's game. The homecoming celebration reception starts at 5:30 and runs until 7:30. Heavy hors d'oeuvres and student entertainment will be provided in the North and South ballrooms of the Purdue Memorial Union. At 7 p.m., one of Canada's most successful punk pop bands from your childhood, Simple Plan, will be playing a free concert at Slater Hill. On Saturday, we kick things off with the Big Ten Network tailgate show at 10 a.m. The show will be held on the front lawn of Cary Quad and includes activities, giveaways, and football analysis. Before kickoff, enjoy the band pregame show at Slater Hill and Boilermaker Crossing for kids' activities and live music around 2 p.m. The game kicks off against Michigan at 4 p.m., so expect to see those brand new lights turn on during the game. And as a post-game event, Purdue will be welcoming former Colts punter and current Barstool Heartland founder Pat McAfee for his stand-up as part of homecoming weekend. The event is presented by the Student Concert Committee and begins at 8:30 p.m. With a 2-1 start to the season and a genuine shot at victory this Saturday, it's sure to be an exciting weekend for Purdue, its football team, and its alumni.
And next on Fast Track, we're taking you for an inside look at one of Purdue's most iconic eateries on campus, Pappy's Sweet Shop.
One of the things that I really enjoy about being a professor at Purdue and being able to interact with students is that oftentimes I get emails from students several years on after they've graduated saying like, your course changed the way that I look at sport. Your course changed the way that I think about our society. My research focuses on the amount of coverage and the type of coverage of men's and women's sports on televised news and sports highlight shows. What kinds of stories are the media telling about sports, and then how does that inform and impact the way we think about gender and race? My freshman year, everything was about boys football and boys basketball. We didn't have the language or the ability to articulate or to know better that if we were supporting the boys team, we should have been supporting the girls team as well. So I was really interested in kind of learning more about the cultural aspects of why some of those gender differences might exist. The problem that I'm trying to solve is how do we address the larger inequalities within sport that relate specifically to sociocultural factors. For me, that's important. It's just exposing students to a different way of thinking about and seeing their world.
The liberal arts encourages new ways of looking at the world and encourages new ways of thinking. It very much is about preparing citizens to participate not only in the political process but civic life as well. I am a professor of political communication. What that means is I study things at the intersection of political science, government, and communication. We encounter politics every day. My job is to make it apparent that we are doing it and to make students appreciate it in some type of way. It's so important for students to understand not only the political side, but also how political leaders and political processes communicate with us on a regular basis. The Brian Lamb School of Communication, as well as the Purdue College of Liberal Arts, are emphasizing important things that get at the root of our civic and political life right now. The College of Liberal Arts is focusing on that broader engagement, and that's something that's so inspiring.
And now we're introducing a new part of the show called Purdue Eats. Have you ever heard that a Purdue eatery might have some interesting ties to Prohibition?
We sent reporter Danielle DeCapua to get all the details.
When students walk around the Purdue Memorial Union, they can see people studying, socializing, and even sleeping. But if you walk to the corner of the basement, you can find an iconic Purdue restaurant with some pretty rich history.
Pappy's was founded in 1927. The original manager was Frank Fox. He was here from 1927 to 1956 or something like that, a long time.
And why is it named Pappy's Sweet Shop?
Pappy was Frank Fox, the original manager, and the rumor is that in the 20s, during the Prohibition, that out of the storeroom of Pappy's that he ran a bootlegging business.
But Pappy's is much more than a restaurant with an interesting past.
We've been voted the best place to eat by Exxon for 7 years in a row now. All the alumni, returning students, all visit and come see us. They have memories here. They met their wife here. Their best friend and them always studied here. It's just a place to be.
Since I was at a restaurant, the hungry college student in me had to get to know a little bit more about the food.
Our burgers are wonderful. We started a new handcrafted burger that is also on a monthly basis. Right now we're offering the Southwest burger.
And they even have something to satisfy the sweet tooth in all of us.
What would you say is your signature dish?
our milkshakes, our classic hand spun milkshakes. You know, they come in like 8 different flavors now. We always have shake of the month.
So I met up with Pappy chef Dave Thomason to make one of his favorite burgers.
So what we're making here right now is a patty melt. Is it just one patty?
Yep, just one patty melt.
Just a moderate serving.
Yeah, so we have our Swiss cheese is now melted. We'll get another burger patty. Right here. Make sure our onions are nice and hot. Moving them on the surface like I'm doing it. Heats them up a lot quicker than just let them sit.
Yeah.
You know. Flip on the burger. Onions on the top.
Thousand Island.
Thousand Island. Close the door. Kind of let it brown up a little bit more on each side. This way we get some steam going underneath. For the patty melt. Two on the bias. Then we'll put fries in there. Alright. And this is our patty melt with fries.
Beautiful. And that took what, like 5 minutes to make, tops?
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in and out. We're built to move.
I had to ask a few regulars their opinion on what's the best thing to get.
I love the cheeseburger basket. Like, I'm really excited about getting mine right now. I'm really hungry.
Milkshakes are really good.
Really? What milkshakes do you guys have?
Chocolate.
Ooh. I love the burgers. I'll eat those until
all day, every day?
Every day.
And there's actually an incentive for Purdue students with a dining plan to eat at Pappy's.
So like, if you come here, you can use a meal swipe and you get either like a basket that has like a hamburger or chicken tenders, and then french fries or tater tots and then chicken for a meal swipe.
So what is it that makes people keep coming back for more?
Just the atmosphere. I mean, like, it's super retro and it's cute. It is super cute here. Yeah. And it's like an actual restaurant as opposed to like just like a dining court, which is different.
Oh, this is all original to the original sweet shop. Everybody carves their names in it, signs their initials, whatever. It's kind of a passage of graduating Purdue to come and sign the wooden boot.
Do you think you guys will come back here in the future?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
People love Pappy's for its food, legacy, and atmosphere.
Tap room, order up. Tap room, order up.
And it sounds like that won't change for years to come.
Number 7 ice cream.
I'm Danielle DiCapua, reporting for Fast Track.
Students interested in using their meal swipes at somewhere other than a dining court should check out Pappy's Sweet Shop in the basement of the Purdue Memorial Union.
Still to come on Fast Track, it's something that's been around for decades here at Purdue, and we're sure you've heard of it. Some fast facts about the so-called world's biggest drum when we come back.
Purdue Liberal Arts is really a fantastic place, mostly because we empower students to really go out and participate in democracy, participate in modern society. I teach African American history mostly, but also 20th century United States history as well. My research focuses largely on race, class, social movements, social justice, civil rights. So many of the issues that we confront today are largely played out in the course of African American history. The narrative itself illustrates to students in profound ways. Civil rights is a really outstanding subject area for students to come to understand not so much the past, but really the present. It's amazing to see the influence that we have.
Welcome back. Before we leave you this week, we wanted to tell you what you might not know about one of the most recognizable icons on campus.
Built in 1921, the Purdue Big Bass Drum has become an icon and the heartbeat of Purdue. Fast Track's Danielle DeCapua sat down with the drum crew to learn more about the world's largest drum.
The world's largest drum has been a symbol of Purdue for years, but what you might not know is that there's a whole team behind the drum.
My name's Will Traub, and I'm the captain of the Big Bass Drum crew.
Now this drum is not actually the world's largest, but it still is record-breaking.
Well, the moniker behind it is the world's largest freestanding bass drum, which means it's made just like the regular ones what you would wear, it's just way bigger. Freestanding means there's no internal supports or any kind of structural roping holding it up, so it's not the world's largest anymore, but it's the world's largest freestanding drum.
This drum is an important piece of Purdue's tradition, and being a part of the drum crew makes Captains Will and Brad feel like they're a part of history.
I mean, the band is such an icon of Purdue, and especially the drum, really. You know, it's made in 1921, it's Purdue's oldest icon, and it gives me a way to be an ambassador for Purdue and really represent our school. So I'm really grateful, and I take it very seriously.
And being a part of the Big Bass Drum crew isn't as easy as it may look. There's actually a pretty rigorous tryout process.
Well, there's a set of physical tryouts, which consist of push-ups, sit-ups, a 100-meter sprint, a 400-meter sprint, and a 1.5-mile run, as well as a history test. You have to know every bit of history of this drum, and you have to pass all those to be considered part of the drum crew.
And besides being seen at home football games, the Big Bass Drum crew is also a unique part of the local community.
We'll do Boo at the Zoo, for instance, over in Lafayette at the Columbia Park. We'll go over there and we'll perform during the Halloween. We'll take a whole night and we'll just set up shop in the corner of the zoo. We'll do events like that. I've been to a couple community centers with the drum in past just to help support whatever cause was going on at the time.
And all these events add up.
For general fall stuff, it's about 10 hours a week with practices and then a 10-hour day normally with game days, except this Saturday is an exception. It's about a 14-hour day. So I'd say on average about 25 hours a week coming in the fall.
But for Will, the hectic schedule is well worth it.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I get to go places and represent one of the world's oldest icons. The drum behind me is 96 years old. I mean, there's not another drum like that in the world, and I get to go with it in all kinds of places. It's truly humbling to be a part of something this old with this much history to it.
The next event for the All-American Marching Band and the Big Bass Drum crew will be this Saturday afternoon for the second home football game at Ross-Ade Stadium. And it sounds like the drum crew has it all figured out.
We got a show to run. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be a great show as usual.
Danielle DeCapua, Fast Track News.
And we'll get to see that drum again this weekend for homecoming.
That's all the time we have here for this week's edition of Fast Track. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
To your call once more we rally on the mater, hear our praise. Where the Wabash spreads its belly filled with joy.